I'm Nicole Elizabeth. I am the creator of Wyld Wynd, and it looks like we will be doing this more often. I originally set up What's Brewing for once a month. However, I've gotten such great feedback from all over the United States that it looks like we'll be doing it probably twice a month, maybe even more than that. And I am super excited for this because it gives us the opportunity to spend Saturday mornings with people that do good things, drinking our coffee on What's Brewing. So like our initial tryout in November, I have invited Kim Weimer, John Whetstone, and Paul Gonzalez. And I am going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves and what company you're representing today. And then we will do another round where everybody will explain exactly what they're working on and what really drives your passion to get those projects done, or like what your mission is. So Kim, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I am Kim Weimer. I am an LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. I am the founder of the Lotus Healing Center, which is a mental health and wellness company providing mental health services. And we really focus on the wellness side of things. We want you to find some peace and some healing in that's long-term, not just kind of putting a Band-Aid on services or on what's going on with you. So through that, I use mindfulness, I use meditation, we use yoga, and of course, traditional one-on-one therapy to address the issues. Also very community focused, wanting to, as soon as the weather gets better and it's not so cold outside, do some community yoga and meditation, that kind of stuff.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Kim. I can't wait to ask you a few more questions a little bit later on. Paul, go ahead, introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, I'm Paul Gonzalez. I'm the CEO of PG Consulting, and we help small businesses and nonprofits protect their passion. What we do is I've seen a nonprofit is a small business, and I've seen a lot of nonprofits and small businesses that they don't necessarily understand maybe the labor laws, or they have trouble with networking and different things. So what we do is we come in there and we help with wherever the gap is so that they can complete their mission, and so we do.
Excellent. I can't wait to explore a little bit more on that in a few minutes. John, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is John Whetstone. I am the founder of Win Automotive Repair, and we're aiming to help simplify the process of vehicle ownership and maintenance on those vehicles.
Excellent, excellent. So one of the reasons, like I said earlier, that I invite my guests on is because they are super passionate about bettering the world, or our community, I guess, one small step at a time. Tim usually reads me in right there. But yeah, so I want to ask a few questions, each of you, about what you are working on in your community and why you think it's so important. And you can pick one topic or you can pick a few topics. But anyways, Kim, I'm going to let you go first again, because you always set a great example. And, you know, we do have to keep Paul and John in check sometimes.
Always. At some point, Nicole, though, you do also need to introduce yourself and your own company. That might be nice.
Okay. Okay. All right. I guess
do that first.
See? Thank you. So one of my bad habits is always focusing on other people and not entirely myself. So I am Nicole Wind. I am the Nicole Elizabeth, the founder of Wyld Wynd, and we focus on grant writing and mission management and creative design. Realistically, I just like to take somebody's mission and let's kickstart it, let's get it going, and give everything we have to making you and your mission acknowledged by the public and by the people who need to see that, and putting it in a package so that way when we are writing a grant, everything is there for those reviewers, those funders to see what you are worth and really feel the heart behind your mission. So that is my mission, is to make sure that our people are taken care of, and their constituency, their animals, their seniors, their kids, the community are all taken care of as best as we possibly can. So that's what Wyld Wynd does. And now, again, I will turn it back to you, Kim, to elaborate on what you do in the community, either side projects or with Lotus, to really benefit what we need to grow with.
Just wanted to elaborate a little bit too. What I love about Nicole and what she's really good at is connecting people in the community. She has this huge, beautiful heart. And yes, sometimes I have to rein her in because it's like, let's do everything. Nah, we can't always do that. But she has the connections in the community to make things happen, or even in the world, like to connect people with different things. And it makes a big difference with that. And she's always motivating me to get out there and do more things in the community. So I wasn't born here in Porterville, but I was raised here. I've been here since I was like 6 weeks old. So I have a heart for the community. It's a pretty much underserved area. So I do like to connect and serve. I've been a social worker here, you know, all of my adult life, right? So yeah, for me, it's really about connecting and helping the community in whatever it needs. So we've done projects like picking up trash on the riverbeds, and, you know, you were working on delivering the water. I didn't get to help with that one. My son did though. So moving cases around. For me, I think what I really want to focus on over this next year is bringing mindfulness into the community. My career has been super stressful, and in that I had a lot of health problems, and I discovered meditation and yoga to be very healing for me. And if I could help even just a couple of people figure that out in their own lives and make that work, that would be amazing. And so, you know, my heart is, once I get more established and have more time on my hands and it's not freezing cold, is to do a lot more yoga in the park and group meditations, that kind of stuff, to help people learn what that really means and find some healing and some peace through that. So that's my mission.
That's your mission for this year.
For this year.
Do you have a mission for beyond that?
Working on it.
You're working.
This thing is getting bigger than I expected really quickly. So it's kind of been a whirlwind. I got things started in August, and all of a sudden everything's just kind of happening, which is amazing. And I'm so thankful for that. But I'm getting projects and different things going on, and I'm like, whoa, I still have a full-time job outside of this. So I'm trying to balance it all out and figure it out. But yeah, at some point I want this, I would like to open up a center in the community and offer these services, and maybe even go into the schools and that kind of stuff. But that's down the road. Maybe even do some retreats for people with trauma history, working with first responders, that kind of stuff too. But one thing at a time. I'm having to rein myself in too, because I do have this tendency to take on a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to make sure what I'm doing is done well.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the goal.
Yes. Paul has been learning about that, which is a good segue into PG Consulting. So Paul, please let us know a little bit more about PG Consulting, and if there are any projects that you are working on in the community, or how you really feel that PG Consulting is going to benefit the future of our community.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me. And also, I have to say something about Nicole. So Nicole's the kind of person that she goes to the lake and she comes back and says, oh my gosh, there's so much trash. Let's see what we can do rather than waiting for other people. So she gets a group of us together and we're down there picking up trash, which is great. I mean, we all have to pitch in. It takes all of us to make changes. And I do agree with when you said we can change the world, because we can a little bit at a time. And we're one of the first generations that can have the whole world in our living room through the internet and social media. So we do have that opportunity. So I think we can do big things. As far as PG Consulting, I worked for the state for 30 years and I wanted to do more. So I retired last year and I wanted to help these a lot of the nonprofits don't realize they're small businesses. So they don't have policies in place, they don't have processes, but they do great things. Same with the small businesses. They work in their communities and they have this passion. And passion will beat money, promotions every time, because people work hard for what they love from their heart. And that means a lot to give back. And when the people are while these big corporations and stuff help with money and donations, a lot of times when you're not there, when you're not in the middle of it, you don't understand what's going on, you don't feel it. And so that's why I'm working closely with small businesses and nonprofits to help them figure out what that is. I've learned that networking, huge. Kim, John, and Nicole have been awesome. I can reach out to them and ask them questions or ask them for help. So with these small businesses and nonprofits, I help them to understand, if they do social media on a smaller scale, what they can do for a lower cost. They don't have resources to spend millions of dollars on advertising. And then if they get bigger, then I can refer them to maybe Nicole, or, if they need something with auto repair, John or Kim. I also work with Kim on with California Correctional Supervisors Foundation, where we're looking at doing wellness for first responders. And I work with other programs like Reestablishing Stratford, which is a little community right outside of Lemoore. And they're helping a lot in the community. They just need other resources and network connections. I work right now with Circle T Ranch. It's called New Beginnings. It's equine therapy out of Lemoore. And Denise Taylor does a great job. In fact, tonight she's having a movie for the community. It's open to the public. It's free. It's Santa, I think it's Rudolph, and it's about 45 minutes. So you're welcome to come out there. Just look for Circle T Ranch in Lemoore. It's on Fargo. But again, I'm trying to work on things to help. The biggest thing is connections. If we all network and we work together, we can help each other in some way, whether it be with resources, with the small donation, with putting our time, and that's what you need to be able to make these things work. So.
You are absolutely correct. I think that's one thing that Paul and I have a lot in common, is that we see all of these smaller organizations, these just starting nonprofits, and we get it. We've been there. We've done this. So it's easier for us to help an organization when we know the one aspect of writing that policy and procedure and getting all of that taken care of, or getting your baking taken care of, or your social media, and making sure that we have all of these little puzzle pieces put together, so that way that foundation is set for that organization and it grows. It will just take off once that is set. So Paul does a lot of the technical work, which is super important. And I actually need to talk to you about something. So let's talk after this. When you grow at a speed like Kim is going, and she is focused on her mission and helping her people, it's good to have somebody like Paul who's going, okay, well, we're at this step and we need to make sure that we're securing this and that we're securing this to make sure that she can move forward without any glitches. Because as a new business owner, and I think we've all experienced this, you get pushed in different places and nobody knows your company but you. So it's your job to figure out your path, and we are truly there to help you get to where you need to be. Anyways, off my pedestal, and why are you laughing at me, Paul?
I want to say one more thing that I did forget that's huge.
Go ahead.
So I work with another program called Compassion Prison Project. And sometimes people look and they say, well, you came from law enforcement. What are you doing helping? Well, you know what? I believe in doing what's right and changing the world. Sometimes what happens is we all have the same goals. We want safe communities. We want our families. We want to work together to make the world better. But the problem is sometimes when we have different ideas or different beliefs, and we start to talk about our beliefs and our ideas, and we argue more about that than looking at the goal and how we can reach it together. Compassion Prison Project is helps with people coming from inside the incarcerated people back onto the streets, but they also help working with giving back to law enforcement agencies and stuff. And people don't always look at that side of it. California Correctional Supervisors Foundation works with wellness. But if we can put those together and work on the same goal, I mean, that would be huge. These are two big organizations that can help a lot of people. And, we just have to put aside our beliefs and look at the goal and talk about how we can reach those goals together. So.
Right. Just bettering mankind as it is, and making sure that everybody has that same availability, that equity and mindfulness and understanding themselves and their emotions, regardless, because we know it's a stressful atmosphere of what color you are, if it's green or if it's blue. Everybody has the right to understand themselves and how to make themselves better, regardless of their past. So I think that is a huge overcoming if we were all to realize that and stop dragging people through the mud on where they came from. Anyways, this is Kim's job, not mine.
I forgot something, by the way. Can I chime in one more time on one of the projects? So tomorrow, this is not actually my project, but it is my friend Kristen English's project. She's doing a workshop tomorrow. I should have been more prepared. Yoga for the Soul or something like that. I forgot the name of it, but it's going to be a several-hour workshop on Zoom. And if you want more information about it, you can check out my website, lotushealingcenter.net. And but it's Sacred Soul Yoga workshop, something like that. Anyway, it's from 3 to 6:30, where you'll be doing some restorative yoga, be working on kind of setting some intentions for the new year, deciding what you need to let go of from the previous year. She is probably the best yoga instructor I've ever taken a class from. She's amazing, and lots of wisdom within her. So I would say definitely check that out. The payment for it, if you're a single person coming in, is $60. If you are bringing a friend, it's $45. And if you're interested, just kind of email me or hit me up on the website, or she's taking payment via Venmo. So it's Keke36, Keke36. But then you're probably going to want to email her and give her your information so she can send you the link. So
we can make sure that we share that information.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Am I muted? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we can make sure that we can share that information in the websites. We will put in the comments section, wherever it is on your page, so that way they have.
We're still figuring this out, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I would highly recommend if anybody has the time,
whatever way,
afternoon, to check that out, because it's gonna be.
I do have to say that Kristen is one of those yoga instructors that you can listen to and do yoga with at the same time. You don't necessarily have to watch her. She's very informative on how she instructs, and you can totally tell when she's doing that, because there's not a lot of questions during her what do you call that, classes? Sessions. I don't know.
Something like that.
That's not my.
Yeah, she's the yoga instructor I hope to be one day. But no, her classes are amazing.
So there is a goal for Kim.
There is a goal. That's my goal. I want to be like her. And she's also very good at breaking it down for someone who's never done yoga a day in their life. So you could come into that having never done anything. And she makes it very simplified and very beginner friendly. And also, if you've been advanced with yoga and been doing it a while, she can up the ante for you a little bit too. So there's that scale there, but she's highly just very if you're very highly stressed, she's very restorative and calming in the way she does it. So it's awesome. But anyway, that's what I'm promoting this month.
Yeah. No, absolutely love it. Go ahead and promote her. I will say that also Kim and I have taken her classes, and me as a beginner and Kim as advanced as she is, we can take the same class, and there's always another step if you want to do something more. And when you listen to your body, and there's always something that you can do instead of. And I find that in instruction wise, that is something that is very helpful, because Kim is very flexible with some things. I am very flexible with some things. They are quite the opposite. So yeah, she does a great job. On that note, I want to invite the pink bearded man on to explain his passion behind what he does. It is so very important that there are people like John in the world, because there are nonprofits and there are for-profits. But the reason why I work with John personally is because I know his mission. I get it. I feel it. I feel the frustration behind it. And he often hears about that. But I'm going to let you explain what you do and why you do it, John. Go ahead.
Okay, so Wynd Automotive Repair is my company, and we are simply trying to help all those vehicle owners out there to better understand their vehicles and to be better equipped at maintaining those vehicles and taking care of those vehicles. And my mission, as it's been over the last 30 years, is really to provide those people out there with my knowledge, my skill set, my experience, and use that in a way that educates them and raises their own ability in managing their car, managing their vehicle. Because too often I get customers that come and look to me for repairs or maintenance on their vehicle, and they're shocked and surprised at how much things cost and how much money they could have saved if they had just known that their transmission needed serviced instead of just replacing it when the oil no longer is good.
Right. So what is something new that Wynd Automotive Repair has been working on?
So we've been working on a video series that we plan on launching on social media. The video series will be, the week will start on Monday or on Friday, sorry. And so we will have a short video that we launch on Friday that kind of explains the topic that we'll be dealing with for that week. And then it'll progress until Thursday. Tuesday will be kind of a Q&A Tuesday where our followers will be able to ask questions about their vehicle and about concerns that they've had. And we will be doing our best to answer those in about a 30-minute Facebook Live type of session. We'll be posting all these videos on our YouTube channel and on our website, wynd.repair, and cataloging them on. So if you hear something that intrigues you or stimulates your brain function, and next time your car is acting up or having an issue, you want to revisit it, you'll be able to go to our website and pull those videos up and revisit those videos. But the topics will be really basic. The goal is to reach people who are kind of terrified of their vehicles and terrified of maybe what it takes to maintain it and what it is. The maintenance process and the repair process in a vehicle is not nearly as terrifying as so many people think it is. And so, yeah, we're just going to try to educate and help those people who are having issues.
I do have to agree, and I have shared this a gazillion times, with the frustration of trying to understand what is going on with your vehicle and who you can trust to fix it. And that process is a lot easier if you have some knowledge behind that. And I feel like the videos that are coming out are going to give you a good, healthy understanding of what to look for, what to listen for, where to go for that information, whether you want to contact John and ask a question, whether you look at your owner's manual, understanding your engine, understanding what could cause X, Y, and Z. I think that a lot of people have lost the capability. We grew up, I'm going to say we, with working on our cars. I think all of us have a good understanding of that. But now things have changed. And it's not so easy to just lift up your car and get some work done, or your truck, or whatever you're working on. A lot of things have changed. So the evolution has come, and John has kind of reined that in so that way you could take those steps really with any vehicle there is. Did you have anything to add, John?
No, I mean, the primary focus of these videos will really be service based. So in the days where we grew up kind of, and even before those days, vehicles were made to be tinkered on, and you kind of had to constantly be kind of tweaking on them and stuff to get them to run right and do things. Today's vehicles will run right and do what they're supposed to do for years and years and years and miles and miles and miles. The only thing that they require, or the primary thing that they require, is just simple maintenance things. And if you keep up on those simple maintenance things, and it is something that you individually need to keep up on and you individually need to manage, that's where the video line is focused. This first video series is focused, is really just understanding what those things are and kind of building your own maintenance, your own preventative maintenance schedule, so that you can just do it as it comes and keep those repairs happening. And ideally, if you keep up on all that preventative maintenance stuff, as far as breakdowns and the vehicle being non-reliable and leaving you stranded on the side of the road, you know, those things should be at a minimum if everything is maintained properly. So that's where we're going to be focused on this first video series anyway.
Nicole,
And,
Nicole,
you know,
can I say something? Oh, John is great. John knows a lot about, and I kind of laugh. He says my biggest problem in my vehicle is that I have a Dodge. So, I mean, I don't know how true that is, but the simple things, like I've changed the oil in my car and I've changed the brakes and the basic stuff, but sometimes the little things like oil, when we talked about it, people don't have the understanding, and I didn't. I mean, I take it into the shop. It's easier. I can run it into a quick lube place or whatever. They change my oil. They reset my little gauge in my car, and I drive. And then when it gets low, the gauge says you need to change it again. I do it. Well, John had pointed out that number one, I wasn't using synthetic. I was using regular oil, and I should only be running about 3,000 or 4,000 miles before I change it. And I looked, and my gauge will run me 10,000 miles before I change it. I'm assuming just, and a lot of people I'm sure do the same thing, is assume that your gauges in your car tell you when to go change it. You get it changed like you're supposed to. but I'm sure it doesn't help your car when I'm running 10,000 miles on regular oil every single time. So.
It doesn't help your car at all, Paul. Not even a little bit. The emblem on the front doesn't help it either.
Checking account.
But the emblem on the front.
Hey, John, I have a question for you.
Fire away.
What's up with the pink beard?
So the pink beard is something that I started a while ago. Do you want the long story or do you want the short story?
Yeah, I want the long story.
Yeah. The pink beard is something that I started years ago in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's the short story. The long story is that, and I'll be sharing this, I'm sure, multiple times because it does raise a lot of eyebrows and a lot of questions, both positive and negative questions. But it started after the passing of my grandmother that I kind of grew up with about 9 years ago now. She passed away from kidney cancer. She was a major role model in my life and was an amazing woman. And on the anniversary of her passing, I kind of was reflecting back on the fact that I had this grandmother who was a major role model and a major person in my life, and had been responsible for, you know, a lot of different attributes that I kind of hold dear in my life. And how at one point in time, there was another woman out there who could have had that same impact on my life if it weren't for breast cancer. And I was coaching high school football, and all the football players were wearing pink, and pink was really gotten bigger and bigger and bigger in October. And so I thought, well, man, I really kind of want to do something a little bit different, something to kind of raise awareness. I don't like the term raising awareness of breast cancer, because I think at this point we're all pretty aware of it. But like with your vehicle, awareness that your vehicle needs its oil changed, and you actually doing the oil change or getting the oil changed, that's a big leap that people have issues with. Breast cancer is kind of that same way. Understanding that breast cancer is out there and then actually going and getting yourself checked, that's two totally different things. And so I decided several years ago to go ahead and try to do a pink beard. And I figured if I hated it and I couldn't stand it, that I would just shave it off and be done. But the first year I did it in October, I really liked it. It raised a lot of good questions and good conversations with people. Not a lot of people have seen a big guy with a pink beard before. And so it draws a lot of eyes and a lot of focus. And so then when I decided to start Wynd Automotive Repair, I decided that one of my primary colors with Wynd would be pink, and it would be pink simply for the fact of breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. And so I decided I would just kind of keep the pink beard and rock the pink beard, and that maybe even if people didn't want to watch my video series about automotive repair, that, you know, maybe they would at least tune in for a little pink beard action. So yeah, that's the long and the short of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And you brought up a lot of valid points. And also one of the reasons why I continuously work with you is the passion behind what you do and what drives you to get your work done. Sorry, my dog Indigo came in and he is expecting his morning ear rubs. And if I don't, he will get a little rambunctious. So I'm trying to multitask right now. But do you guys have any closing words that you would like to leave for anybody watching this?
I do. You know me, I'm always talking. The one thing that if I can leave you guys with is, whether you're a business or a regular or just an everyday person, is to go out there and, maybe you call it network or whatever you want, but build those relationships. In the old days, because I guess I'm the oldest one here, people used to know their neighbors. Nowadays, people live in a community and they're like, I've lived here 20 years and I don't know my neighbors. So whether you're out there giving back in the community or volunteering or just meeting people, networking with businesses, going to events, getting on Zoom, meet some people and find out about them. Because what happens is our differences, they push us apart, and really our differences are our strengths. And what we have in common is how we build that relationship. But you never know what you have in common unless you talk to one another. So, and that's the only way we're going to do better and make the world better, is that, like I said, reach for common goals, get to know each other, and help each other out. So if I can leave you with something, please go out and meet somebody, give back to the community, and
With the mask on.
With the mask on.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. I'm going to piggyback a bit on that and say it doesn't even have to be in person. You know, right now we're approaching the holiday season, and there's a lot of people that maybe can't go see family or are very limited and isolated. And we have seen, from a mental health perspective, a huge rise in depression. So just check on your friends, check on your people. You know, it doesn't take but a couple minutes to send a text message or pick up the phone and call and say, hey, how you doing? Or a FaceTime. There's a lot of really lonely, isolated people out there that are really stressed out right now because of COVID. And, you know, even taking care of yourself and making sure you're doing that a little bit. If you are feeling sad, reach out to somebody, you know, hang in there, because this is a rough time. And it's really important that we make those connections, like Paul was saying, whether it's community-based for our business or whether it's just being a good human and caring about other humans, right? So I think that's super important to keep that in mind as we enter this very strange holiday season.
Yeah, I do have to say that all three of you are really, really good at hounding me when I get a little too involved in reading a book. And
we have that same problem, right?
Yes.
I'll isolate all day long, but I'm an introvert. You are too.
Yes. But there are people who really don't know how to express that. And this is new to all of us. So good idea, Paul and Kim. People like you guys are truly appreciated, especially coming from somebody who gets a little lost in certain projects. And I'm like, okay, got to get it done. And everybody knows I love them wholeheartedly. But sometimes it's nice to get hounded like Paul does. Hey, where are you? What are you doing? And then if I don't answer within a couple of hours, then he calls me. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? And then if I don't answer the next day, then he shows up on my doorstep, or he sends me a Starbucks gift card to get outside and go, hey, what are you doing?
But those are the things that I'm talking about. And that can be very, very powerful for someone who's maybe isolated and struggling, especially if we have some depression going on. Sometimes the energy to reach out to somebody isn't there, or we're not paying attention when we get that person reaching out to us. So just, you know, keeping that in mind during this time of year and really trying to facilitate, or I don't know what the word is, but checking in on those people, making sure they're okay.
And remember, there are postcards and there are Christmas cards, and we still can use pens and paper and send messages. That is really, truly a lost art form. But I will take this moment if nobody else has anything to say. Anything to say? No? Paul, Kim, John? Nothing else?
Thanks for having me, Nicole. I appreciate you doing this and putting this together. I piggyback off of what those other two strangers have said here on this, and that is that Nicole really is kind of an amazing person. As much as an introvert as she likes to pretend like she is quite the extrovert when it comes to connecting people and networking and getting things done. It's one of the reasons why she's an amazing person to work with. So I would like to just end on that note and let people know that what you have going on and putting stuff together like this has really helped me immensely to connect with other people and other amazing companies, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, guys. Y'all are so sweet. I should have you on here more often. I
think we've been the only ones on here.
I know. Maybe we should just have a monthly with just the four of us. Whoever's watching, just know that we are all business best friends, but we are friends outside of that. We work well together. We communicate well together. We're all super positive, unless, of course, John comes to us and tells us that we need to do something on our car. But in the event that happens, we know we have a trusted human being that will make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our family on the road as best as possible. And on that note, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And please stay safe. If you're going to drink, please give us a call. We can, as friends, pick you up and take you home. I don't know what the whole Uber or Lyft thing looks like right now, but make sure that you contact somebody. No drinking and driving. If you need somewhere to go, just talk. We can Zoom. It doesn't matter where you are. Take care of yourself. Don't feel alone. You're not alone. I know that this is definitely a struggle for a lot of people this time of year in the first place, and then to not have the opportunity to go out and expend our normal energy during the holidays can be a little different. So be safe, take care of yourselves. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, Paul, for your enthusiasm. I didn't want to change my Zoom background today because I didn't feel it was quite as appropriate as it needs to be. But all week I have had Ralphie with a bar of soap in his mouth as my Zoom background because it just makes everybody giggle. Anywho, love to you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Kim and Paul and John, for being awesome individuals that are super passionate about life, their life, and your well-being. And thank you for watching What's Brewing. And again, I am Nicole Elizabeth, and we will talk to you soon.